Hey guys, today on Guitar Basics we're going to go over two key skills. One of them is palm muting. The other one is harmonics. Okay? Now the reason that we're going to learn these together is because both of these skills are basically, I'm going to call them indirect playing. You don't actually play the strings, you play a part of the string. So we're going to get into first palm muting. I'm going to show you exactly how that works and where that's used and how you can use it too. Okay guys, palm muting is a right hand skill. Okay, I've got a pick in my hand, but basically how we would regularly play a note or pick, we would just pick. But with this, what we're going to do is we're going to use the back part of our hand, and right here where the saddle is and the bridge, we're going to rest that part of our hand onto the strings just where they meet, right? Right here. And then what we do is, because we have our pick in our hand, we're just going to move our hand down as if we would regularly have it, but we're just going to rest it on the guitar. What I do sometimes is I rest my pinky down here, kind of gives you a little bit of support. And then what that's going to do is, instead of having a sound, we're going to have a. And what you can do when you learn to use this skill very well is you can learn to alternate, lift your hand up and down. So what I was doing there is I was playing an E pentatonic scale and I was muting the first root note and then playing the second one. And it will sound like this again. So basically that's what it is. Now I'm going to zoom in so you can see a little bit more. Okay, now here in a different view, you can see my hand is just lightly rested up. You don't have to push the strings down. You just have to let your hand sit there. Just let it sit. It gives a really nice sound. Now this is used a lot in rock music when you hear like bands like Metallica or anybody. Instead of hitting an open E power chord, they'll palm mute it. And it sounds really rough and tough. So basically when you're playing chords, you could play, like right now I'm going to play a G major. I could play with a palm mute. So I could hit those root notes up here, mute them, and then hit the upper ones and make them ring. And it gives a really nice sound. So that's palm muting. You can also do scales with palm muting, like I explained before. And this is a really good skill to get used to going into and out of, because it's going to open up the sounds that you can make with your guitar. Okay, that's palm muting. Alright, now let's move on to harmonics. Now, to understand what harmonics are, you have to understand what the scale length of a guitar is. The scale length of a guitar is the distance between the nut up here and the saddle down here. Now, on most regular guitars, the scale length is 25.5 inches. And what happens is your 12th fret, which is right down here, is always halfway between both your nut and your saddle. So the note on, let's say, your high E string on the 12th fret is an E note, and it's 1 octave higher than the open string. Now because of this, we have what we call harmonics. Now if you wanted to play that note on the 12th fret, it would sound like so. What harmonics does is, if you just rest your finger above any string on the 12th fret, you get this sound. And what you do is you just touch the string just a little bit. Don't press it down. I'm going to zoom in a second so you can see exactly how I'm doing this. And you pick and let go, and the string will just resonate. You can also do that on the B, and the G, and the D, and of course the A and the E. So this is halfway on our scale length. Now we also have on the 7th fret, on the 5th fret, we also have harmonics. That's on the 7th fret, and we have harmonics on the 5th fret. Okay? Now for these frets, the harmonics are very pronounced. They're very easy to sound, easy to hear I should say, sorry. But you can play a harmonic on a different string and you'll hear that little bit of a buzz sound, but it won't resonate like these ones. For instance, on the 3rd fret, or the 2nd or the 1st. So none of them will actually resonate out as a really loud sound, except for the 5th, the 7th, and the 12th. Now I'm going to zoom in. I'm going to show you what I'm doing here so you can practice these at home and have a little fun with them. Okay, now that we're zoomed in, I'm going to show you on the 5th fret. So as you can see, this would be pressed down. You just want to touch it. Now this is going to take a little bit of practice, and I think once you get it and you really have fun with harmonics because you can do a lot of cool things with them. So this is our 5th fret. So as you can see, I'm not pressing. I'm just putting my finger right across all of them, and then I'm just giving it a sweep. And then let it go. You can do the same thing on the 7th fret. Let it go. It's a little bit more pronounced on the 7th fret, and as you get closer to the center of your scale length, and that's why down here on the 12th fret, it's the loudest of all. Okay? Now also, each one of these harmonics has a corresponding note on the fretboard on one of the strings. I'm not going to get too into that because it's not really important, and the whole point of this lesson is to learn about how harmonics work and how you can use them. Alright, so that's harmonics on the 5th, 7th, and 12th fret. Alright guys, have fun with harmonics and have fun with that palm muting, and make sure you practice them. Once you get the palm muting and the harmonics, you'll have a great time with both of them. Thanks for watching guys, and good luck.